just about time we start holding Aaron Judge accountable here. Like, enough's enough. The Yankees are a complete mess. They get swept again, to no one's surprise. We can't even pay attention to the games. But the New York Yankees in August, the middle of August, not April, the middle of August, are under 500. And Aaron Judge, and this is more BT about the career of Aaron Judge, not just this year. But Aaron Judge has been the face of the baby Bombers, right? Since 2017, he was the reason they exceeded all the expectations in 2017, getting to Game 7 of the ALCS. He was the guy who broke records last year. You know, the home run record where Roger Maris goes down. Aaron Judge breaks the record. He was a beast. He's been the guy for this team. He's also the guy that hasn't been able to get them to a World Series. And being hurt, I mean, that's a part of it. Aaron Judge, and since he's been back, the Yankees haven't been any good. I know he's hobbled. I know it's a bad toe and all that stuff. And I look, I get it. I get how great it could be. But why is Aaron Judge absolved from all blame here when you look at what's gone wrong with the 2023 New York Yankees? He should be front and center. He's the guy.
He's absolved because he's the only reason you should watch this pathetic, pitiful product at this point. They're just a train wreck joke. The Yankees have failed Aaron Judge. You know, for years we lamented how the Knicks failed Ewing. Never got him that second superstar. Instead, they brought in the broken down. Oh, here's Kiki. Here's Rolando Blackman when they're past their prime. The Yanks have failed Aaron Judge. And I got news for you, Sal.
Since 2017, they failed him?
Yeah, I believe that they have. You think about the legacy of the great Derek Jeter. Now, instead of playing with Bernie and Tino and Mo and Posada and Pettit, let's say that Derek Jeter had the misfortune of playing with Steve Sachs at second base.
Oh, I like Steve Sachs.
Well, with the Dodgers,
he was good.
Randy Velarde, Scott Sanderson, and Jim Leyritz to the left field. Are we even talking about Jeter? The answer is no. The reason, and I understand that Aaron Judge is the engine. He's the piece of the puzzle. But Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball when healthy. And what's around him.
Oh, he's not better than Ohtani.
I think he is.
I think Judge is better.
Last year he was. I mean, last year he was. Let's put it this way. Without Aaron Judge, the Yankees are a step above the A's. So if we can all agree on that, and I think most of us rationally can, you want to drop this at Aaron Judge's doorstep?
I do, BT, because it's high expectations. And let me just say for the record, because people have a problem comprehending things, I love Aaron Judge. Great player. I don't think he's the best. I think Shohei Ohtani is the best player in baseball. However, it's enough about Cashman, enough about Boone. Like, Aaron Judge needs to be held responsible here. He's now the captain of the team. He's been the leader, the face of the franchise that has failed year after year after year. I mean, remember 2018, Judge walking around with that stereo in Boston? Guess what? You didn't deliver. You got beat. 2019, Astros beat you again. These are his teams. It's a culmination, and getting hurt is a part of it. I mean, Aaron Judge, that's part of the reason why maybe there was questions about the contract and all that stuff. I know you can't blame him for this particular injury this year, but he's not there. And the Yankees desperately need him, and Judge has not delivered overall. His name needs to be brought up with some kind of responsibility,
okay,
and held accountable for some of the Yankees' struggles.
Okay, Ted Williams, career 200 playoff hitter. Willie Mays, greatest hitter of all time, 200 lifetime playoff hitter. Willie Mays, career sub 700 OPS in the playoffs, over 30 games. Joe Morgan, I mean,
Bonds.
Certainly Bonds. Joe Morgan, if he's not the first or second greatest second baseman of all time, he's the third. Career 182. He was on the big red machine, did nothing. Roy Campanella, 3-time MVP, 257 career average. I get it that Aaron Judge is the highest paid player, highest profile, but this is not basketball. This is not where one guy, which equates to 20% of the people on the actual playing surface, can so directly and intimately impact the successes of the team.
Well,
they're not even pitching. By the way, they're not even pitching to Aaron Judge. They walk him. Here's the pitch to Gleyber Torres. 3-hopper to short, flip to second. There's one, back to first, double play. I mean, here's the pitch to Gleyber. 1-hopper to third, over to second, one, back to first. There's two. They walk Judge
last night.
And he hits into a double
He
play.
struck out 3 times. They pitched a Judge last night. He struck out 3 times.
But nobody, they had 4 hits.
How did he do against Cleveland last year in the postseason?
This team sucks. I mean,
I get it.
Let's not blur the lines of reality. The Yankees are wretched.
Understood. I'm not
Okay.
saying they're not.
Okay.
But so when the Yankees are wretched, if the team stinks, the captain is out there. He's playing, 9 toes or not. He's playing. He deserves some blame. He struck out 3 times last night. How did he do in the Cleveland series last year? How did he do in the postseason? And by the way, fans were booing him, which I thought was just like ludicrous. Like, come on, enough said. Guy broke a record. You're going to boo him against Cleveland. However, bigger picture, has Judge gotten it done in the postseason once since he's been here?
No.
And that's part of the reason. I get what you're saying, BT. Like, he's a great player. The list of problems with the Yankees, like, we could pick it all apart as we have. LeMahieu stinks and he's washed. Rizzo and Stanton and Cashman and Boone and on and on.
No left fielder, no leadoff hitter.
Right, but we're
rotation.
We're overlooking the biggest part that's been here. He's the one guy from 2017 on that hasn't delivered. Now, if he got them to a World Series, I wouldn't be able to say this. He hasn't delivered.
Okay. Let's take the baseball player, and without going back to the 40s, 50s, 60s, we'll say from post 1970 forward, somewhat modern, right? Who's the greatest World Series October performer for the Yankees? It's Reggie.
Yeah, right, of course.
I mean,
you could throw in Derek,
and then A-Rod in 09 and Reggie, right?
Me personally, I would say Reggie and Jeter.
Okay, I would say Reggie. We both agree Reggie number 1.
Right.
Okay. Is Reggie even getting...
Mr. October.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is Reggie getting to the World Series without Thurman Munson, without Greg Nettles, without Ron Guidry, without Lou Piniella, without whether it was Paul Blair or Mickey Rivers, awesome defensive set? The answer is no.
No, but BT, he's not named Mr. October because he was partaking in October. It's because of what he did in October.
That's why when you ask me directly, has Judge carried his mail or carried his weight in October? I mean, I got to be honest, the answer is no.
Right.
But, I mean, in terms of getting, they can't even get to relevance right now. Forget about getting to the World Series. And listen, if we're sitting here saying, the Yankees are a game under 500, which, by the way, they are. I told you, they're not finishing 500.
No, you were right about that.
It is done.
I actually have a hard time believing. I looked at the standings 5 times. I can't believe they're under 5. The Yankees, last place, 14 out, under 500. What year is this?
It's the New York Stankies.
Yeah.
That's who they are.
They've been awful.
The New York Stankies. But the point being, if we're sitting here and the Yankees are where they are, and Aaron Judge is hitting .237 with an OPS of 791, fire away. Because then he's not doing his job this year. This guy was on pace for 60 bombs after he jacked 62 last year and won the MVP. And because of those idiots with the Dodgers, by the way, somebody else got hurt the other day
I saw that.
because of that stupid fence. If that doesn't happen, the Yankees win, even though they're not very good. He still carries them to 93 wins, 94, the playoffs. He's going to, Ohtani wins the MVP. He finishes second. I mean, let's just contextualize this a little bit.
But since he's been back, they have gone the wrong way.
He's not healthy.
But then sit him down.
Well, that's a different discussion.
Sit him, and I'm not saying sit him down because you're out of it. Is he healthy or not? You brought him back. He's playing. If he's playing, he should be fair game. He is here. He was there last year. He was the reason why the Yankees got to where they got. They held on to win the division. They started out like the 98 Yankees. Then they started to go in the tank a little bit, but held on only because of Aaron Judge. He failed in the postseason. Now he's here. I expected him to get better with him here. They've gotten worse. They've gotten worse since he's been back. If he's hurt and he can't perform, get him out of here then. Sit him down. Don't bring him back.
There's one reason to watch this team, and it's that guy. And when he's not up, why you watching? If he's not playing, why you watching? And if he's not playing, they ain't winning. Now, to your point, even with him, they're not winning.
Right.
But listen, Aaron Judge, at least for now, is still in the penthouse, like the penthouse where I place people in terms of degree of culpability, exonerating blame, absolving. This, to me, he's still bulletproof. I mean, the guy's hurt, and he's a beast, and he's the best player in New York.
2017. He's been the guy since 2017. And the Yankees, his Yankees, the captain of the Yankees, Aaron Judge, the face of the Yankees, the baby Bombers, they have not been to the World Series. He's got to take a part in that blame. 877-337-6666. Louis in the Bronx. What's up, Louis?
Sal, BT, you got to reel your partner in. Listen, I'm a Mets fan, but listen, I got to call you Sally Botch. Hey, you're a little crazy, Botch.
Sally
Hey,
Botch.
That's your new name, Sally Botch. You're crazy. Listen, the only way, Judge, yes, there's no denying he doesn't do anything in the playoffs. But this is all Cashman. But that team is constructed with rookies, journeymen, and washed-up guys.
What about
Cole?
2018? What about 2019? Go ahead.
Sal, no doubt. Listen.
Oh,
you
no
bring
doubt.
in-
So we agree. So we
No,
agree.
As far
Louis
as he's not
Bonds.
good in the
Louis
playoffs.
I
Bonds.
was waiting for
No,
that.
no,
I thought you were
no.
going to say that.
As far as in the playoffs, he doesn't perform. Now listen,
But that's
it's all-
part of it, Louis. That's a big part of what I'm
Now it's
saying.
all Cashman. Look at Cashman. Right now, he gets rid of last year. He gets rid of Montgomery, a serviceable lefty, nice for Beta, who was in a walking boot. I mean, the guy was in a walking boot when they got him. Right? That's number one. He brings in Montrose. Right? That guy's
Louis, it's not. We're not talking about.
Yeah.
And thanks for the call. We're not talking about Cashman. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah,
like
I got
we've
you on
been
that.
over the Cashman stuff.
Yeah.
How do you, BT, then separate? I'm not saying even just this year. I'm saying big picture. And again, this year, you can say whatever you want. Would you have signed up if I asked you before the year, all for the contract, no less? But if
Okay.
I would have asked you off the year, going into the year, if I would have asked you, would you sign up for the numbers that Judge has put up right now and the season he's had right now?
100%.
You would have signed up for it, yes?
Well, based on the amount of games that he's played,
But he
his
hasn't
production,
played.
his OPS is over 1,000.
But he hasn't played.
Well, that's a different part of the. You just
But-
asked the stats based on like the
I meant his year. Yeah, games played is part of his stats.
Just clarifying. Games played? No, I would know that the Yankees are absolutely dead.
So, but that's part of it. He's got to be available, and that was a big issue with him, where he wasn't ever healthy until last year. It was one year, go figure.
But don't you think you have to at least give him this? Like, if it was soft tissue, like Stanton decelerating into second base, I understand that the guy made a sick catch on the national
I know.
stage, and because he's such an uber athlete and plays so hard, we're going to penalize him because of an antiquated, outdated piece of concrete that was visible and in play in Dodger Stadium.
Now, do you think that ruined the Yankee season?
100%.
Yeah, but you're saying the team stinks.
No. Well, again, no illusions. This team.
Because I do think it ruined their season.
Well, ruin them in terms of being a wild card team? Sure. Even with Judge smacking 70 home runs, this team was doing nothing this year in terms of a World Series. But now let me change this. If Judge doesn't, I can't stand this team. Glaber, get rid of him. Get rid of everybody, right? Except Cole and Judge and Volpe. But if Judge doesn't get hurt and he goes, I'll just throw out some numbers for you. 290, I know not did 305.
Right.
291, 57 home runs, which he absolutely would have hit. 120 RBIs, OPS over 1,000. The Yankees, minimally, are the second wild card, and that may have changed what they did at the trade deadline.
See,
they may have been buyers.
See, for me, this is not just about this year, although we could go over that as we have. It's about, I have said many times since 2017, 2018, this is going to be the year. Judge is going to take them to the World Series. All right, 2019, this is going to be the year Judge takes them to the World Series. 2020, 2021, and it just hasn't happened. Here we are again, and it's like everybody forgets about Judge, but he's a big part of it. Prior to last season, the questions about Judge were the same thing: performing in the postseason, staying healthy, even leading to the contract. BT, a lot of calls saying, you can't give Judge the long-term deal. He doesn't stay healthy. Well, he got hurt again this year, and what happened? Season goes in the tank. He comes back, and they still can't even be a playoff team with him coming back. He's got to take some of the blame. Jonathan is in Newtown, Connecticut. What's up, Jonathan?
Hey, BT and Sal, how's it going?
What's up, buddy?
Not much. Hey, actually, Sal, I agree with you on this one. I think Judge is very capable of being the captain, but he needs to be held responsible for being the captain. There's an accountability aspect of that. As soon as he accepted that captain status, you're no longer friends and buddies with a lot of guys on your team. I mean, he has carried the Yankees, but where is the story that Judge got on somebody because of lack of hustle, like a Glaber Torres?
Okay, now, John,
we got that with Rizzo, with Higgy. That time he forgot that there was only one out.
Yep.
And he thought there was two.
That's different.
Like, we need some of that.
That's different. Now, that is an excellent point, outstanding point. Thanks for the call, buddy. That is something that is entirely different. If you ask me, am I willing to absolve Judge for their collapse this season in terms of the standings? Absolutely. I just documented why. South disagrees. All good. Do I think he has worn the C the way Jeter did or the way he needs to? No, I don't. Because
you even think he's the leader of this team, or would you think it's Rizzo? I mean, I know it's a different conversation.
I could tell you this, Sal. If there was a guy back in the day that half-assed it down the line, wasn't taking the game serious, Jeter would shoot him a look, and that player would play like his pants were on fire for 30 straight games. Last night, and I know it was just one little moment, and fairly innocuous, I didn't watch it last night. 2 nights ago, I see a shot of Judge, of Rizzo, and of Stanton laughing when they are getting taken to the woodshed and destroyed by the Braves. You ever see Jeter do that? You ever see Posada do that? You ever see Tino do that? No chance. And if anybody ever did that, Jeter's style wasn't to light him up publicly. I guarantee in the clubhouse, addressed and done and never happens again.
I'm not even going to question his captaincy and his leadership. To me, it's not even about that. But he has to be the guy to be held accountable to a certain extent when he is the guy. Like, you know what I'd like to hear from him, captain or not? Hey, you know what? I take responsibility for this season. I need to stay healthy, figure out a way to say whatever. Put himself out of harm's way. Don't be a hero in June in Dodger Stadium in the regular season. You know that your body, big body, you know how important you are. It could be fragile at times. Be smart about certain things. Again, accidents happen. I understand that. And it's an unfortunate thing that happened to Judge and to the Yankees. But I want to hear him, BT, hold himself accountable because he's the guy on this team that has failed to deliver this team a World Series berth since 2017, where a lot of us expected that it would happen. Scott is calling from Tampa. Scott?
What's going on, guys?
Hi, Scott.
Sal, I forget how old you are, but are you old enough to remember the Don Mattingly Yankees?
Yes, I'm 43. I'll be 44 next month.
Okay. So he was the best player in the sport. Okay, but the team built around him was awful, and the only reason why the Yankees were in a playoff hunt this long is because you had the wild card. If that was the years when you had no wild card, the Yankees would have been buried at the All-Star break. Season would have been over. They have nobody around Aaron Judge. It's just like Madden. He was the best player in the sport for about 5 years, but the team around him was a train wreck. And that's what this team is. This team is a train wreck.
Well, I'm going to correct you a little bit here, Scotty. Thanks for the call there, buddy. You know, train wreck, at least applying to those old Yankee teams, was the pitching staff. You know, having Ricky Henderson as the leadoff man, Willie Randolph batting second. I mean, Don Mattingly, who was a modern Stan Musial, batting third. You're right. Winfield batting fourth, and then Jack Clark, or Pags batting fifth and sixth. Oh. I'll take it. And it just they couldn't pitch, and he was a victim of the times. As were, by the way, the earlier Met teams. If there was wild cards before the before they won it in '86, they would have been a wild card team multiple times. You know, the Yankees won more games than anybody in the '80s, but no wild card. They won more. Toronto was better because they had more pitching. Dave Steve, a few other guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. But the Yankees right now.
Dave Steve.
Yeah, he
Jimmy Key was with them.
Jimmy Key. I love Jimmy with the Yankees.
Was that your phone going off? What's going on here?
You know what? They're cutting my lawn, and I've got my sensors all over. So
let
me shut this off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
They're driving me nuts. I'm going to throw it through the window pretty soon.
I'm like, what is going on? I'm checking the ring is going nuts here. Right?
Yeah, like anytime there's a motion detector, which, by the way, sometimes like a gnat buzzes by in the middle of the night, and the alarm goes. I'm like, what the hell's going on? You know. Anyway.
Aaron Judge teams.
Yeah, well, just to connect it to the caller, not so much to walk down memory lane here. These Yankees are awful, and without Aaron Judge, they really are not. They are not that much above the Oakland A's. That is or the Nationals. That is how bad they are. How devoid of talent they are. And for me to jump into the pool, and trust me, I'll swing on anything that I think is worthy of getting swung at or on. There's no way I'm throwing any punches at Judge today. That man is the best, and he is hurt, and he's the only reason that I watch the Yankees, and they have failed him, not the other way around.
His fault or not, he has not done the job this year. Look, he hasn't played a bunch of the games, obviously. It's a big part of it being hurt, and I'm not saying it's his fault that he got hurt, but he's not there. He has not delivered, and he has not delivered this team a World Series berth since the Baby Bombers, put themselves on the map in 2017, getting to Game 7 of the 2017 ALCS.